The night was dark and stormy, clouds moving fast across the sky, the wind howled through the empty streets, and rain tapped loudly on the roof. John sat by the window, staring at the distant lights of the city, his heart feeling uneasy for no reason. Something about this night felt different, something he could not explain. Suddenly, a loud thump echoed at his front door, startling him. He jumped up, heart pounding, and grabbed a flashlight. The noise came again, soft but desperate, as if someone was in pain. Slowly, he opened the door, expecting maybe a lost animal or a branch blown by the wind, but what he saw made him freeze. A woman lay on the doorstep, barely moving. Her skin had a faint glow, almost like the light of the moon. Her eyes were closed, and her breathing was shallow. She wore clothes unlike anything John had ever seen, strange patterns and colors that shimmered under the lightning flashes. Her hair floated slightly as if touched by some invisible force. John rushed to her side, kneeling in the wet rain. "Are you okay? Can you hear me?" he asked softly, but she did not answer. Instead, she whispered faintly, "I'm hungry." Before her body went limp, the words were strange and soft, carried with a faint alien tone. John's heart sank. He did not know what to do, but leaving her here was impossible. He lifted her carefully into his arms, feeling the unusual warmth of her body. As he carried her inside, he noticed tiny marks on her skin, glowing faintly like stars. His mind raced with questions. Where had she come from? Who was she? Why did she appear here on this stormy night? The air seemed charged, as if something important was about to happen. John set her down gently on his couch, covering her with a blanket. She stirred slightly, opening one eye, a strange color that seemed to shift between green and gold. John gasped. This was no ordinary person, this was something entirely different, something from another world. Yet, there was a look of trust in her eye, as if she knew he would help her. He went to the kitchen, grabbing water and some bread. He did not know if she could eat human food, but he had to try. Bringing the food back, he sat beside her, placing it near her hands. "Here, maybe this will help," he said, his voice trembling slightly. She looked at him, her gaze curious and cautious, then slowly reached for the bread. The way she moved was elegant and almost otherworldly. The storm outside continued, thunder shaking the walls, lightning lit up her glowing marks, making the room feel alive. John could not stop staring. Something about her presence filled him with awe and fear at the same time. He wanted to ask questions, but the words felt useless. How could he understand someone not from this world? As the night deepened, she closed her eyes again, resting. John sat nearby, thinking about the strange events. Every sound outside, every shadow in the room felt dangerous, yet he also felt a strange connection, a sense that their meeting was not random. Something bigger was at play, something that would change his life forever. Finally, John whispered to himself, "I will keep you safe," not knowing if she could understand, but somehow, it felt important to say it. His hands rested near hers, and the storm outside raged on, while inside, a new story had quietly begun, a story of trust, mystery, and a bond that was yet to form. The morning sun broke through the clouds, casting soft light into John's living room. The alien woman lay on the couch, slowly opening her eyes. They were the same shifting green and gold, glowing faintly in the sunlight. She looked around, confused, touching her glowing marks. John watched quietly, not wanting to scare her. He brought her a small cup of water and held it gently near her lips. She hesitated at first, then drank carefully. Her movements were delicate, careful, almost like she was learning. John felt a strange mix of relief and wonder. How could someone so different be so gentle, he thought. She tried to speak, but only strange sounds came out, a soft whisper, like wind through leaves. John shook his head and smiled softly. "It's okay, you don't have to speak yet," he said, "we'll understand each other." She looked at him, her glowing eyes curious, almost studying him. Over the next hours, John tried to communicate in simple gestures, pointing at food, water, and objects in the room. She mimicked him carefully, touching objects and looking at him for approval. Slowly, a small connection began to form. They shared quiet moments, smiles, and gestures. The alien woman seemed to trust him, slowly letting go of fear. John noticed her reaction to sounds outside. She flinched when a car passed by, her glowing marks flickering, almost like she could sense danger even from far away. It worried him. He wondered who or what she was running from, yet, he could not ignore the strange bond growing between them. He decided to give her some food, simple bread and fruits. She sniffed cautiously, then tasted them. Her eyes widened with surprise, as if the flavors were new and wonderful. She ate slowly, carefully, and John watched in amazement. She was learning, adapting, surviving. The alien woman then pointed to the sky through the window, her finger trembling slightly, and made soft noises. John followed her gaze and saw clouds moving strangely fast, almost like a signal in the sky. He wondered if she was calling someone, or warning him. His heart raced, questions filling his mind. Even as fear lingered, John felt a warmth in his chest. Something about her presence was comforting. Even with the storm outside now gone, the tension inside remained, but in small gestures, small smiles, the bond between human and alien grew. She tried to move, her legs weak, and John helped her, guiding her gently around the room. She reached for his hand briefly, almost like a silent thank you. His heart ached, not from danger, but from understanding how fragile yet strong life could be, even across worlds. By evening, she seemed calmer, resting near the window, watching the city lights. She reached out and touched John's arm softly, her glowing marks pulsing slightly, as if syncing with his heartbeat. John realized this bond was more than trust, it was friendship, connection, perhaps even family waiting to happen. Outside, night began to fall again, shadows stretching across the walls. John felt a mix of hope and worry. The alien woman was safe for now, but the unknown world beyond his door still loomed. He knew this was only the beginning, their story was just starting, and it promised to change everything. Finally, he whispered softly, "We will face it together." She looked at him, eyes glowing brighter for a moment, as if agreeing, and in that moment, the fear faded slightly, leaving room for trust, curiosity, and the fragile start of something extraordinary. Night fell quickly, and the city streets grew quiet. John and the alien woman sat near the window, watching the darkness. Her glowing marks flickered nervously, as if sensing something beyond human eyes. John shivered, feeling tension in the air. Something dangerous was approaching, he could feel it. Suddenly, a faint hum echoed outside, like metal moving in the distance. The alien woman stiffened, her eyes widening. She made soft noises, warning John, but he could not understand. He looked outside and saw strange lights flashing in the shadows, moving too fast, too precise to be human. John's heart pounded, fear mixed with adrenaline. He grabbed a flashlight, shining it toward the lights. The shadows moved away quickly, disappearing between buildings, but the hum remained, louder now, vibrating through the walls. The alien woman's glowing marks pulsed rapidly, almost like a heartbeat warning. "Who is coming?" John whispered, but she only shook her head, touching his arm softly, urging him to hide. He realized she was trying to protect them both. She gestured toward a small closet in the room, pointing urgently. John nodded and helped her move inside, carefully closing the door. From inside the closet, he peeked out, watching strange machines moving down the street, their shapes unlike anything he had seen, sleek, metallic, with light scanning every corner. He realized they were searching for her, searching for the alien woman he had saved. His mind raced. How could they find her so fast, and what would happen if they did? The alien woman touched his hand, her glowing marks calming slightly, as if telling him to stay strong. She made soft, low sounds, pointing toward a small backpack near the window. John understood. She wanted him to take her and escape. They had to move quickly, before the hunters found them. They slipped quietly out the back door, moving through alleys wet with rain. The lights from the machines searched in every direction, stopping suddenly as if sensing something. John felt his stomach twist in fear, but he focused on keeping the alien woman safe. Each step was careful, silent, tense, like walking on fragile glass. Suddenly, a beam of light swept across the alley, and the alien woman's glowing marks flashed brightly. She pushed John to the side just in time, and the beam passed over them, missing by inches. John gasped, "How did you?" But she only nodded, her eyes warning him to move faster. They ran deeper into the city, shadows hiding their path. She guided him silently, moving with surprising speed, her glowing marks lighting the way, almost like a natural compass. John could feel the danger behind them, chasing, searching, waiting for a mistake. The tension was unbearable, but he could not stop now. Finally, they reached an abandoned building, small and quiet. She pushed him inside and closed the door, listening carefully to the sounds outside. The hum faded slightly, but John knew it was only temporary. They were safe for now, but the threat was real, alive, and persistent. The alien woman sat down, exhausted, glowing softly in the dim light. John watched her, realizing how fragile and powerful she was at the same time. He touched her arm. "We will survive this," he whispered, and she looked at him, eyes reflecting trust, hope, and determination. Outside, the city seemed normal again, unaware of the danger that had passed, but inside that small room, two beings from different worlds had formed a bond, ready to face the unknown together. The threat was not gone, only paused, and the night promised more challenges, adventures, and tests of courage. Morning light barely reached the small room, shadows still stretched across the walls. John and the alien woman sat together, catching their breath. She looked at him, her glowing marks pulsing softly, and made soft noises, pointing toward her chest, then toward his own, as if trying to say something important. John frowned, confused but curious. "What is it?" he whispered, leaning closer. She closed her eyes briefly, then opened them, and a small holographic image appeared between them, floating in the air. John gasped, unable to believe what he saw. The image showed a distant planet, filled with strange landscapes, floating cities, and beings unlike anything on Earth. She touched the image, and it changed, showing other alien ships, some friendly, some armed with strange weapons. John realized she was showing him where she came from, where she belonged. "She's running from something," John whispered, understanding the danger fully now. The alien woman nodded, her glowing marks brightening, and she pointed at him, then made a gesture like holding hands, then touched her chest again and whispered softly, a sound that seemed to mean, "You are family." John felt a chill run down his spine. The words, even in her strange alien tone, carried meaning. She trusted him, relied on him, and somehow called him her family. He felt a mix of pride, fear, and awe. This was bigger than anything he had imagined. Suddenly, a low hum echoed outside, stronger than before. The alien woman's glowing marks flared brightly, and she stood, guiding John toward the window. She pointed at the sky, and John saw it, a massive alien ship descending slowly, lights scanning the city below. The hunters had returned, stronger, faster, closer than ever. John swallowed hard. "We need a plan," he said, though his voice trembled. She touched his arm, and he noticed a strange energy passing from her to him, a warmth that made him feel calmer, braver, stronger. It was as if she was sharing her power with him, teaching him to trust, teaching him to survive. The alien woman then gestured to her glowing marks, which began to form patterns in the air, creating shapes, maps, and signals. John realized she was trying to communicate more than words could express, showing him a way to escape, to fight back if needed. For the first time, John saw the full scope of her abilities, not just strength or speed, but intelligence, strategy, and a bond that connected them across worlds. She could sense danger, guide them through threats, and now she trusted him to act, to be her partner, her protector, her human family. They prepared quietly, using the small room for cover. She taught him gestures, signals, ways to hide, ways to move without being seen. The bond between them grew stronger with each shared glance, each moment of understanding, each silent word passed in gestures and lights. Finally, the alien woman touched John's hand, glowing softly, and made a small noise that sounded like laughter, a simple, joyful sound, full of trust and relief. John smiled, realizing something profound. Even in a world filled with danger, war, and hunters, they had found hope, family, and the beginning of something extraordinary. Outside, the alien ship hovered, scanning the city, unaware of the human and alien duo preparing to face it. Inside, a connection stronger than fear, a bond deeper than words, had been forged, and the revelation was clear. Together, they were more than one, more than two. They were family, ready to face the unknown. The night was quiet again, but the tension still lingered. John and the alien woman crouched in the abandoned building, her glowing marks pulsing softly, guiding him. He felt her presence strong and steady, as if she were giving him courage. He knew they had to move, to escape the hunters and survive. Outside, distant hums echoed, machines searching for them, but John now felt a strange confidence. The alien woman touched his hand lightly, her glow reassuring him. She led him through hidden passages, old tunnels beneath the city, shadows and silence their only companions, every step careful, but purposeful. They emerged in a small open field, far from the city lights. The stars shone bright above, and John felt awe at the vast sky. He realized how small and fragile life could be, yet how powerful connection was. The alien woman stopped, looking at him with those shifting green and gold eyes. She made soft noises, pointing toward him, then her chest, signaling again, family. John smiled, his heart full. Yes, we are family, he whispered, feeling the weight and beauty of the words. Suddenly, lights flashed in the distance, hunters closing in, but the alien woman moved with incredible speed, guiding him through obstacles, dodging threats, her power and intelligence now fully visible, yet calm and controlled. They reached a hidden valley, surrounded by hills and strange glowing plants. John marveled at the alien beauty around him, realizing she was home, yet had chosen to trust him. She touched the ground gently, then him, creating a small barrier of light, blocking any pursuit. The hunters would not find them here, at least for now. Sitting down, exhausted but alive, John and the alien woman shared a quiet moment, the glow from her marks lighting the area, casting a soft warmth. He understood that she had given him more than survival. She had given him trust, friendship, and a bond deeper than anything he had known. The alien woman moved closer, resting her head near his shoulder, her soft noises like laughter, joy, and relief combined. John laughed softly too, realizing that they had formed a real family, beyond species, beyond worlds, beyond danger. Their connection was stronger than fear, stronger than any hunter, stronger than anything else. He looked at the stars, thinking of the journey ahead. He knew challenges were not over, that the universe held many dangers, but now he was not alone. He had her, and she had him. Together they could face anything, learn, grow, and survive. Their bond was a testament to courage, kindness, and the human spirit. The alien woman lifted her hand, touching his gently, and her glow brightened as if confirming their promise. John smiled, feeling a warmth he could not describe. He realized this story was bigger than just them. It was about trust, compassion, and the extraordinary connection possible between beings from different worlds. As the first light of dawn touched the valley, John whispered softly, "We will face everything together." She looked at him, eyes bright, glowing softly, and made a sound like agreement. The bond was complete, a human and alien united not by words, but by heart, courage, and trust. And so, in the quiet valley under the endless stars, their story continued, a story of hope, family, and the extraordinary strength of humans and aliens standing together. The world outside remained dangerous, but inside, they had found something far more powerful: love, trust, and family.